Hey everybody, hope you're doing fine. Today I'm going to show you the best way to enter a stock, especially on a breakout, using a stop limit order. The reason a stop limit order is the best way to enter is because it is the best of two orders combined. So a stop limit consists of a stop order and then a limit order. When you place a stop limit, you have to place two values. You have to place the stop value and then the limit portion of the order. The reason why it's important is because it will allow us to enter at a specific price and not before that price gets hit. When we use a limit order by itself, we're telling the broker that we want to get filled at a certain price or below that price. So right here on AN, you can see the high is 155.13. So what if we want to enter that after the high has been broken at 155.14? We could use a stop order by itself, but the problem with the stop order is that when we use a stop order after 155.14 is hit, it's going to turn into a market order and fill us at most likely the worst price possible. You can see the spread right now on AN is around 35 cents and it's fluctuating. It could probably even go to 50 cents or 60 cents. So if we were to try to enter this at a specific price, let's say the high of 155.14 after it breaks 155.13, and we used a stop order by itself, when 155.14 gets hit, it's going to turn into a market order, and that could fill us at even like 156 or 155.50. We don't want that. We want to enter as close to 155.13 as possible, but we don't want to enter until 155.13 has been broken. So what we do is we use a stop limit order. So let's say we want to enter this long. We want to buy shares of this when 155.13 is broken. So what we do, we'll just use 100 shares for now. We'll use a stop limit. All right, and then we'll type in 155.14 for the stop portion. That means that when the price hits 155.14, or if it does hit 155.14, then it will execute the order. But we're going to use a limit order so that it doesn't turn into a market order and we don't get filled at some ridiculous price. Since the spread is so big on this, we'll want to use at least a few cents, maybe 10 cents difference from the stop and the limit portion. And that's a sacrifice sometimes you have to make. That doesn't mean that you're always going to get filled 10 cents higher. Often you'll just get filled a couple cents higher and sometimes even at the exact value, just depending on how much volume there is at the time of the break. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to enter for my limit portion 155.24. Then I'm going to hit submit and it's going to submit that into the market. Now we're just waiting. You can see the order is sitting there right now. The stop limit, the stop is at 155.14 and the limit is at 155.24. So if AN moves higher and breaks that 155.14, hopefully we'll get filled. Now the only caveat to stop limit orders is that if there is a big spread like there is in AN, sometimes your order can get passed up as the price just moves too far and too fast over the 10 cents spread that we're using. All right, so what that means is that if 155.14 gets hit and broken, it may already be too late if our difference isn't enough from 155.14 to 155.24, that 10 cents difference. We may need 20 cents, we may need 30 cents. But for me, a person like me, I'm not too concerned with that because 90% of the time or most of the time, even if it passes it up initially, it's still going to come back down lower and fill me at my 155.14 or close to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wait. And if it passes me, it's no sweat off of my back. I'm just going to sit here and wait and see if it comes back down and fills me. And it still might fill me on the break, even with the 10 cent spread. Now, if you're trying to enter on a breakout, it's the same thing. Anytime we're trying to enter on a breakout where price is moving fast, we look at the spread first. And that's kind of how we determine how much of a difference between our stop and our limit portion we want to use. Now, if this was like a $300 stock or a $200 stock and it was moving and it had a spread of like 50 or 60 cents, we would want to maybe use a little bit bigger difference. Like if we were trading Tesla, for example, Tesla usually moves pretty fast. The spread, let's see what the spread is on Tesla. Since it's such a high float stock now and a pretty big market cap, the spread on Tesla is not even that big. So it's a $200 stock, but it's got a spread of 4 or 5 cents. So it's not very bad. So we'd only want to use about 5 cents difference on this spread. So if we were going to buy Tesla, let's say we were going to buy it at 202.35. We could put a stop limit order. Put the stop portion at 202.35, and then we'll put the limit portion at 202.40. So the 5 cents difference. We enter this into the market, and now we've got a stop limit order in the market. If Tesla breaks 202.35, then hopefully we'll get filled between 202.35 and 202.40. So there's no exact science behind this. There's not an exact number that you're going to use for each stock. So you could also use the stop limit to enter at that exact amount too. If you just want to make sure that you don't get filled before that, but you want to get filled after the break, that's another strategy people use. So we could just say, okay, let's enter Tesla let's put the stop at 202.35, and then we can put the limit portion at 202.35. So what that's telling the broker is that after 202.35 has been broken, the stop order gets released, and then it turns into a limit order at 202.35. So we can use it either way, however we want. But that is the best way to enter a trade without getting a lot of slippage, right? We don't want to use market orders, and if we do use market orders periodically, we want to use them the least amount as possible, right? We want to get into the stock exactly where we want to. So if Tesla breaks here, which is not looking like it's going to, but you just never know. If it does, we'll see if these orders work, or if AN does. There we go. So we can see right here, Tesla broke, and we got filled on both stop limit orders. So you can see that using 202.35 as a stop limit let us enter Tesla at 202.35, exactly where we wanted to. The stop order got released at 202.35, and then the limit portion filled us at 202.35. If we used a market order, we may have got filled at 202.43. We're not for sure. So that is the best way to buy shares of a stock at the exact number that you want to get in. All right. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.